This week's question is, how competitive are we? Very
so competitive.
Oh, it's
Next question.
Oh, good question. How competitive are we?
I'm more competitive than you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. How competitive? Well, you have to.
Okay, yeah.
Right now.
Oh, hey, you're so funny.
I'm not competitive.
I'm not very competitive, I don't think.
We are
borderline
too not competitive. Like we're not. I want to do coasters. No.
We're even competitive with like taking the keys from the house. It's like shocking up.
Yeah, this is probably the three most competitive people.
I don't want to say there is like this preconception that medical students are competitive because I think it is quite true.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think that would be fair?
I think it's fair enough.
I think we're very competitive, but not to the point where we drag others down.
No, it's a good competition. It's a competition to like see how we can better each other rather than drag each other down. That's the key.
Yeah, that's very true.
There's good competition, there's bad competition. We're the good competition.
Yeah, medicine is competitive, so we all must be competitive in some ways. But yeah, some people are definitely more competitive than others, I'd say.
Some more than others. Again,
it's not a straight answer.
It's a big year group at Liverpool. Like I do think there's like 300 of us. So yeah, I think there are competitive people. So, but also there's, I would say, really uncompetitive people.
Yeah. Like,
so it's
not
balance.
Intimidating. The competitive people aren't intimidating because equally there's just as many not competitive people.
I don't think I'm not competitive. People are competitive.
People are competitive.
Like there are a lot of competitive people, but I wouldn't say I'm overly competitive. I think like how other people do doesn't really affect how you're gonna do in my mind, but in other people's it's not like that.
I'd definitely rather focus on how I'm gonna do. And I want my friends to do well too. But people can be competitive.
At times it can be competitive with respect to work. Like people be like, oh no, I'm not revising. But like if you need help and you're like, oh mate, my anatomy of the forearms pretty pants, someone will help you out.
Yeah, someone will send you a YouTube video which has helped them and be like, mate, this is what's worked for me, blah blah blah. Obviously everyone wants to do the best they can, but at the same time I don't feel like anyone cuts anyone down at any chance to try and do better, and I feel like I think that's what Liverpool brings for sure.
I think people are awful for that. I've done no work and then they've been sat up till 1 o'clock. But I'd say that's probably the extent.
Yeah, I've never been intimidated by someone.
Feel intimidated by people.
No.
I don't think Liverpool forces you to be that competitive. Not that that's a good or bad thing necessarily.
People are really nice. People help each other out.
Yeah, all the students are an absolute godsend. That's what I find, and I'm sure that's probably the same in every medical school. Everyone helps each other. There is support there.
I've always thought that Liverpool's a really good environment for things like that because there's a lot. I've only got experience from Liverpool because it's the uni we're at. But there's lots of teaching that the older years put on for younger years, and there's lots of different medical societies, and I feel like I've never felt like there's been too much competitiveness.
I feel, if you have a decent balance of friends who are medics and friends who aren't medics, you get a good balance of that kind of competitive nature where that's enough to fuel you to do better, and friends who might be, slightly more relaxed about things in general. So, but generally there isn't, I don't think here, that much of a competitive nature. I've heard some crazy students or stories of people hiding books in libraries and it's nonsense. It doesn't happen here.
People share it.
People share.
We
share your books.
It's
not deep.
You do come across people that are quite competitive, but I think that's just the nature of medicine. But in comparison to, we haven't been to other medical schools, but my image of the London medical school is super competitive. I went to those open days and I just got really bad vibes, and I was like, nah, it's not for me.
I think everyone's competitive though.
And not the same as other unis, no.
I think everyone's competitive, but here is a lot more support. There's a lot more.
Especially at Imperial, they give students give them other students the wrong time for things.
No.
They don't show it to the teachers.
That's
on the boards and stuff. No, that's awful. Oh,
no. There you are, mate.
Compared to other unis, I can imagine we're very much more chilled.
Oh, so chilled.
Yeah, I would say we're quite chilled. But obviously we can't compare.
Because we haven't lived that experience.
No.
That's shocking.
Exactly.
Because they don't. No.
That's what I've heard.
I'm also like terrified of competitive people, like genuinely. I understand like the degree of competitiveness because, you know, the nature of it is competitive in the way that we get ranked together to get in, where, you know, we want to be you have to be the top of the class.
Yeah, that's quite brutal.
But like, I don't know, I personally find it very, very intimidating. I don't think I'm a person to rise to competition very much, and I think
I would because I would be scared that I was going to fail, sort of thing. Like I'd be scared if I try and compete, I'm not going to be the best, and I probably know I'm not going to be the best. So like, what is the point in putting myself in that position?
For me, anyway, I used to get so hung up on comparing myself to other people, especially the first few years at medical school. At the end of the day, you just have to realise that, you know, everyone's come from a different sort of level of. Like I've come from school in Liverpool, and it's, you know, I was the only person from my school who did medicine. So for me I was always the top. But people that I know from uni, like they've obviously had to be really competitive, like the whole school life, like to the point where if they don't do the best, and they've got competition, if they're not the best, then they beat themselves up. So they're obviously going to be the people who, you know, are proper on the A game. I'm not saying that's an excuse for why I'm not, but you know, they've had to sort of go that extra mile, so they're sort of used to that.
But yeah, I think we should all be in it together, you know. We're all going to come out and do the same thing, and we're all going to be different in our own ways, and we're going to be, inevitably, some people are going to be better at things than other people, and that's just the way it is, and that's why it's a team. That's why we work as a team.
It's medical school, it's pretty intimidating overall, but I'd say it's definitely made less intimidating by talking to your peers, talking to your friends, talking to people who possibly aren't your friends yet, but they will be your friends if you keep talking to them. It's definitely competitive, but
people are approachable.
Everyone's approachable, and everyone will help each other when they've got the chance.
Yeah.
No, I'd help you.
Yeah, I'd do the same.
Thanks.
As long as I'm like passing my exams, I haven't failed an exam.
Yeah.
Do your best and have a good work-life balance.
There's no need for malice competitiveness, because we should all want to do it together and, you know, get the best for the people that we're working for. And being our patients, we want the best outcomes for them, and I think it's proven time and time again the only way to get that is by working as a team in the best way possible, and I don't think competition makes the most effective teamwork.
And I don't think you should be competitive with each other. Like compete against the exam, try and do the best you can against the exam, but don't really compete with each other. Because
there's going to be a job for everyone at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got your whole life to be competitive. You don't need to do it now.
I think people at Liverpool are generally a lot less competitive in a good way. They seem, from what I've experienced from being at conferences with other medical students from different universities, they seem to be a bit more competitive and a bit more hawkish maybe, and competitive not in a good way. Whereas at university, at Liverpool, they seem a bit more supportive and more well-rounded than some of the universities, I'd say.
So I think at Liverpool in general, in the med school, I'd say generally people are quite, you know, they want to help each other. You always get a few who are just a bit like, oh, I'm not giving X, Y, Z my notes. But, you know, in general, I think most people are quite friendly and really forthcoming and want the peers to do well as a general, I'd say. But yeah, you always are going to get a few.
Yeah, I think people do get hung up on the whole rankings thing. Because obviously in medical school you're ranked on your position in the year, so it depends how you take that. I just think, for me, I will do how I'll do based on me, not other people. But other people obviously have different attitudes. It's just how you look at things.
I think like how we've set up like revision groups and stuff, we've all really been trying to help out each other. We didn't like hide stuff from each other or pass papers, you know. So I'd say we're much more friendly than we are competitive.
Yeah, definitely. It's very rare you do hear about it. Someone's like, oh, they're not going to give you that past paper, but it's so rare. Like, it's something you talk about because it's so weird. Everyone has each other's back. Everyone's really nice at Liverpool generally. Like, everyone will look after each other.
Yeah.
I think on the whole, the environment at Liverpool is quite nice. Like, there's so many teaching sessions, or people will like send you a PowerPoint. You know, like, people do share mostly. People definitely want to help you, because why would you not? I feel like it doesn't make me do any better if you do badly, do you know?
There are really competitive people if you look for them.
Yeah.
But I think if you surround yourself with positive people that are willing to sort of help each other, which is really easily done, then you can sort of get away from that competitive edge.
I think all medical students are competitive. I think it what gives them their drive to study and learn more and always improve what they know. I think at Liverpool, people are a lot more supportive as well, and the competitive isn't the number one thing. I think, like in medicine, you've got to be competitive. It's how you're always getting the best marks in exams. You're always looking for the best like level of care. You've got to be sort of really pushing yourself to be striving for the best, like the excellence.